Hi, my name is Anna and I work here at the Quilt Store. Today we're going to demonstrate to you how to make our placemat. You can get it online, or if you give us a phone call, we'll mail it to you. What first you're going to need is your materials, okay? You are going to need 1/4 meter of your flippy. I'll tell you what the flippy is in a minute. And then you need a 40 centimeters for your centers, okay? Then you need a 60 centimeters of fabric for the outside border and 1 meter of your thermolam. Make sure it's fusible thermolam, okay? For the cutting of the center, you need to cut 10 inches by 14 inches. So I recommend you open up your fabric, and if you don't have a big enough ruler, use your mat to mark it down, okay? So you're going to cut first your 10 inches, okay? All right. Place your hands away from the edge of the ruler and then just go along and cut. Before you take your ruler out, just pull this out, okay? Make sure it's leveled and nice and even. Turn it over, and you're going to cut your 14 inches. Out of one strip, you can actually get 3 placemats if you cut it properly. Okay, so you want to line that up and cut. Pull it over to the side. Turn it over, and I'm using my mat on number 20, the 20 inch to the 34, and that makes it 14 inches. Okay, now you have to cut which is 2 inches from your corners, these little corners here, okay? And that's what it's going to look like when you cut it off, okay? So I recommend you use your 45-degree on your ruler. So you place your 45-degree ruler, like this. Let's move that out of the way. And you're going to go 1.5 inch using your 45. So if you place your 45, this is your 45 inch. So if you go 1 inch and then a half, hold it and then just cut it. It's kind of awkward to cut from that side, but then you can do it. Then flip it over, go like that. Then you're going to do the same thing to the other side. It's extremely important that you do use your 45-degree angle so you can get this really well, nice and straight. Okay? To cut, it's a good idea to have a good rotary blade on your ruler, your rotary cutter. So turn it over and do the same thing again. Okay. Once you have that cut, you can actually cut 2 at the same time like I did here, okay? You're gonna have your thermolam cut at 20 inches by 15 inches, okay? Then you're gonna get your iron. Make sure your iron is nice and hot. Place your thermolam on top of your ironing mat, and then place your the centerpiece right in the middle. Then you're going to place your iron on it. Make sure that you don't put your iron against the thermolam because it will muck up your nice iron. If you have a Teflon sheet, you can actually put it right over it and it will protect your iron. Once this is done, okay, we're going to go to the sewing machine in a minute, but before we go any further, we need to cut our red at 1 inch, okay? So I'm just going to fold it and we're going to cut it at 1 inch, and we're going to press that inch into half, okay? Like so. And you're going to grab, this is what we call the flippy. Remember when I was talking about the flippy in the beginning? This is our flippy. So you're just going to press it like so, okay? And you're going to do this to all of the little pieces that you need. So it looks like that, all right? So it's nice and folded. Now I'm going to show you how we're going to put all of this together at the sewing machine. Now we're going to be sewing. I'm using the 77, the Horizon from Janome. The first thing you want to do is we're going to be sewing the flippy on, and you're going to put it down like so, and you're going to sew it about 1/8 of an inch, not quite over 1/4 of an inch. I'm not using my 1/4 of an inch foot, I'm just using my J foot on it, but you do want to change your machine to about 6.5 stitch width. Okay, so if I put 6.5 stitch width, will give me my 1/8 of an inch. Okay, so you're just going to put it down and you're going to sew it down to 1/8 of an inch. Okay? When you get there, the beauty of having the horizon is you can actually cut your thread. Then once that is done, I'm going to cut that off. So that is what the flippy looks like, okay? Then you're going to continue doing this, okay? Like this one here, all the way around. Okay, you're going to do it your sides first, then these corners here. And the way these corners are done are exactly the same way as we did it before. I'm going to show you that. So I've sewn this one here. Like that. Then you're going to place this on a 45. Remember that 45 degree that we talked about when we were cutting? It's extremely important that you do follow those little lines, because then you're not going to be fighting with your 45 degree when you're trimming it off at the end. Okay? Then you just cut it off, okay? Once you have all of that done, it's going to look like this. Okay, once you have all of these places done, then we're going to add our 3 inches. These instructions are all in the paper that the pattern that you will be getting, okay? So I'm going to add this on. What I would like to do is first I just put it down and I measured up there, use my scissor and just cut it like so. Now you're going to change your machine back to 4.5. That'll make you a good 1/4 of an inch, okay? Don't forget to change your machine to 4.5. Or you can use your 1/4 of an inch foot. Okay? So just go along and sew it. You don't need to use any pins. Just let the machine do its work. Okay? Then what you want to do is you want to actually finger press your borders out to the side. You're going to be doing, and this is what it looks, you're going to be adding also the other pieces over to this side here. And that's what's going to look like when you've done them, all of them, okay? So you're going to do your sides first and then top and bottom. You have to do your 45s on this side. What I recommend is you grab your piece that you had before and you're going to go straight across like so on a 45. Now remember that 45 that we had? That's going to be your guide, okay? Your machine does stay at a 1/4 of an inch. You just sew it. You don't need to back stitch. Just sew it straight through. Like that. Just flip it over and cut it. Then you again finger press like that. Now when you put this other piece right here, okay, like so, it'll give you your placemat. So the way to do it is you flip it over, make sure there's at least a good 1/4 of an inch, okay, on this side and a little bit over to this side over here. And that gives you a really awesome corner when you're trimming it off. Okay? And your family will think you paid $50 or $60 for these placemats, and it won't cost you a little piece of money, not much. Okay? There you go. And that's the way it looks once you've done. So once you have done all 4 pieces, okay, it looks like this, okay? At this point, I take it into the pressing board and I press it down completely. So this one here, I've already pressed it down, okay? Now I'm going to trim this all the way around at 2.5 using my seam guide, and I'm going to trim it down to 2.5. So if you want to follow me back onto the table, I'll show you how to trim it down. Now we're going to trim this down to 2.25. Remember, our strips are 2.5 inches. We've sewn a 1/4 of an inch in, so we're going to make sure that we cut it at 2.25. So use your ruler, 1, 2 1/4, and you're going to trim this all the way around. Okay, just keep turning your placemat. Okay, and 2 1/4 all the way around. Now your corners that we use our 45-degree angle for comes in handy because it's already done for you. But again, you're going to use your 45-degree angle like so. Okay, this is important that you do follow the 1/4 inch, or else you're going to have different corners for your placemat. So that's going to go like that, like so. Okay, so you keep doing that all the way around. Okay, once you've done this, we are going to be putting our backing onto it. And the best way about doing the backing is you're going to cut yourself your backing, you're going to cut 20 inches or a 1/2 meter. I like to work with inches because it's easy to do my math. Okay, so you're going to go like so. You're going to cut it, open it up, make sure the right side is up. You don't have to use a plain, you can use something printed if you like in the back. It's up to you. I like to use plain, but you can always use the other one, printed. So what you want to do is you actually want to have a little bit over here because you're going to leave this open to turn it inside out, and you are going to cut just around the placemat. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be sewing this. You're going to take it to the sewing machine 1/4 inch all the way around. Then you're going to turn it inside out. Okay, now that you've sewn this all the way around, okay, we're going to turn this inside out. I'm just going to trim this off. Okay, you can use your rotary cutter. I can, since I'm at the machine, I am going to use the scissors just to trim this excess off of my black. Okay. Excuse me. Thanks, Wendy. Okay, and to turn it inside out, just go like that. Now make sure that your corners are nice pushed out. Okay. Okay. Once it's done, it's turned around. This is what it looks like. Then you do a good pressing, and you're going to do 1/8 inch top stitch all the way around. Once again, move your machine to 6.5 on your width, and that's what you're going to be getting, and then finishes it off. Now, one thing that you can also do, okay, is you can do it in plain black, and if you have the 12,000 horizon, you can actually put a beautiful embroidery on here and just do the reverse. You put your red on. Okay, you put your flippy on, and then just do the reverse of what the placemat that we just finished doing. So you can do embroidery, or you can do it just plain.